Hey guys, Mike here, MBell556. In today's video, what we want to do is build an upper receiver using the new SYRAC Ordnance Retrofit Piston system. We've done an up-close video review of this system. In today's video, what we're going to do is use this now to build an upper receiver. To test this system out, we're going to place the upper receiver on an M16, go out to Bullet Creek, and then we're going to test this system in both semi-automatic fire and full auto fire and see how it holds up. We'll try to get some videos of this system in operation. The upper receiver that I'd like to use for this build is the Mega Arms MKM 420. This upper receiver has the rifle length handguard. We'll take the parts out and kind of go over those with you. This is a 12-inch handguard, key mod, very lightweight. The upper receiver in this kit, it has a proprietary barrel nut. The two main reasons that I wanted to use this Mega Arms upper are, number one, it has a rifle length handguard that's free float. And I wanted to make sure that we had adequate clearance with the SYRAC Ordnance Retrofit Piston system. And then we'll see how difficult it may be to adjust and access this system with the longer 12-inch handguard. The second reason I wanted to use this is the handguard fits very, very snugly to the upper receiver itself. Mega Arms makes monolithic upper receivers as well, and this is about as close as you can get to the strength of a monolithic upper receiver and still have a removable handguard. And what I'd like to do in the video when we go out to test the SYRAC Ordnance Piston system is be able to remove this handguard and show you the action of the piston system when it's under semi-automatic fire and full auto fire. The other reason that I wanted to use this kit is because it is a kit that uses a proprietary barrel nut as opposed to a mil-spec barrel nut. And one of the advantages for the SYRAC piston system is that the piston rod is held captive in the front gas block so that you don't depend on having to interact with a mil-spec barrel nut for this system to function. And so since this is not mil-spec, a lot of other retrofit piston kits would not work with this, and so we chose this proprietary barrel nut system. As far as weight goes, even though this is a very strong upper receiver system with the handguards that are proprietary and a proprietary barrel nut, this weighs about 1 pound and 7 ounces. I think this will work well with today's build. So we'll briefly kind of go through the build process and then we'll take it out to Bullet Creek and we'll see how this system runs. With the SYRAC Ordnance system, they have their own proprietary bolt carrier. The parts we'll have to add will be the bolt, the firing pin, the cam pin, the cotter pin, and this will complete the drive system for our upper receiver. The barrel that I'm going to use, this is a Radical Firearms. This is a melanite barrel. I really just shopped around for a fairly inexpensive barrel. This is the mid-length gas system, melanite treated, 1-in-7 twist with a 5.56 NATO chamber. The first step, we've got to put the barrel on the upper receiver. We're going to use the Geisley action rod in our build. I like to put just a little bit of moly lube on the barrel. Have to line up the pin. Kind of move this around, get some of that moly grease. We'll use the proprietary Mega Arms barrel nut. The upper receiver comes with their tool to tighten the barrel nut. Next, we're going to install the gas block. Remember, we want about a 30 thousandths gap in front of this shoulder in the gas block area of the barrel. So I'll use a filler gauge and we'll kind of double check this throughout the process, but we want 30 thousandths of an inch. We want to line this up. And in this step, we'll kind of keep double checking as we tighten up the 3 bolts. Before we torque down the gas block, we'll drop in the piston rod. Help us make sure everything moves without any kind of binding. And looks to be very well lined up. So we'll go ahead and torque down the gas block. We'll finish assembling the gas piston system. We've got the spring, the rod, and the piston. Looks very well lined up. We'll put the plug for the system in. This is designed to go all the way in and then back up. So that the slot is at 6 o'clock, right there. Okay. And then the adjustment key is here. I have taken the screw and we've opened the gas port completely up. So there's the install. Pretty simple install. It only took a few minutes. We'll go ahead and put a flash hider on this to protect the threads. What I do want to do is let's make sure that we have clearance. It appears that we're going to have adequate clearance. We'll install just a standard A1 birdcage flash hider for now, just to have something on the muzzle. Okay, so here we go. We have the upper receiver with the SYRAC Ordnance system installed. It only took a few minutes. Now, the handguard goes on and it's just an absolute tight fit. There's 2, 4, 6, 12 screws that are going to hold this in, but actually just fitting on the upper, it's really, there's just absolutely no play in it right now. What I'd like to do is just leave it without the screws in it for now, so when we go out in the field to test this, we can take the handguard off and we're going to show you the operation of this piston system under fire. So we'll put this back on for now. We'll just leave the screws out. We'll leave it like it is and let's just finish. Really all we need to do now to finish the build is complete the proprietary bolt carrier. We have a standard mil spec bolt head, cam pin, the firing pin, and then the cutter key to keep everything. So now we have the SYRAC Ordnance proprietary bolt carrier assembled in a complete bolt carrier group. For the charging handle, I really like these BCM Gunfighter charging handles. This is the Mod 4, and there are a lot of good products out there. This has kind of become my favorite recently. So we'll use that for our charging handle. Put the bolt carrier in. Except for the screws now to secure the handguard, this build is complete. It only took a few minutes. So we're going to lube this up, get it ready to go out to Bullet Creek. This is the SYRAC Ordnance Retrofit Piston Kit. We installed it using a Mega Arms gupper. The handguard I left off so that you could see the operation of the piston system itself. We have put this on our registered M16A1 so we can see this under semi-automatic fire and full automatic fire and see how it operates. I used a standard carbine buffer since this is an adjustable gas system. We adjusted it down and then slowly went up. We've got about 14 clicks out on the adjuster, and we'll see how it runs now. We'll start with semi-automatic fire and then we'll do some full auto burst. SYRAC Ordnance Retrofit Piston Kit. Rounds. The SYRAC Ordnance Retrofit Piston Kit has left a good impression with our first outing here at Bullet Creek. This kit ran very well in both semi-automatic and full automatic. I've slipped the handguard back over this Mega Arms gupper and can't wait to get back to the shop and attach this like it's supposed to be. So we got back to the shop and went ahead and added the screws to attach the handguard to the Mega Arms upper. Other little modifications, I went ahead and added some Noveski key mod rail covers with a little hand stop in the front. This should be a lot more comfortable to shoot than what I was doing before when I had to just grip the front of the mag well since we didn't have the hand guards in place. I went ahead and changed the A1 flash hider to an A2, so I do have a little bit of compensation effect. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about when we broke the gun down to inspect and clean the gun after we fired the gun. There were some concerns I had. This gun kit doesn't come with a bushing for the upper receiver, and the piston rod is, quote, self-aligning. So I was a little concerned about whether you would have too much play in the rod as it interacts with the bolt carrier. But when we took this apart, the cupped part of the bolt carrier, I don't see any kind of peening or wear that looks unusual at all. So it really does look like the rod is self-aligning with the bolt carrier. We did see inside the upper a little bit of wear. I'm not sure that this will show, but this is very typical right where the cam pin rotates. But this is common on, you know, direct impingement systems as well as other piston systems. The Colt piston gun, actually Colt put a steel reinforcing piece on the upper receiver where this occurs, but generally it doesn't seem to be an issue. What I did do, I had just a standard cam pin, and I took a nickel boron cam pin that's rounded a little bit more and nickel boron coated, and I thought, what the heck, I'll just try to minimize the wear that I see from that. Generally speaking, when this occurs, you'll have a little bit of wear initially, and then you have no further wear, and so we'll follow this along, but I'm not really concerned about that. It really seems like this system operated very well. It was not really dirty. I basically just wiped off the bolt carrier at this point. So it's going to be a lot more fun and a lot easier to shoot now that I have the handguards on, and I'm looking forward to getting it back out and playing with it some more. This is a very lightweight, simple to install, fully adjustable system. We've been very impressed so far with its operation. We'll keep an eye out on it. I'm going to enjoy taking this out and shooting it in the future. If there are any issues as far as durability goes, we'll let you know in a future video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. We'll see you next time.